In Universe 7. In Universe 7, but specifically on the planet of the god of destruction Beerus, Vegeta was training to get stronger and strengthen his power of destruction on Beerus's planet, with both Whis and Beerus as his mentors. Vegeta was trying to improve his Hakai. His goal was to have the same power that Lord Beerus had, although it was difficult for him. At this same moment, Vegeta stops his training to look around, and when he realizes Goku still hasn't arrived, he was confused as Goku usually arrived at the planet earlier than him, but this time, for some reason, the opposite happened. Suddenly, the angel Whis arrives. Noticing Vegeta's present confusion, he says, "Mr. Vegeta, you must be wondering where Mr. Goku is, right? Unfortunately, he couldn't come today from the looks of it. The other world is in a big mess and Mr. Kaio had to ask Goku for help," Whis said, clarifying Vegeta's doubts. Guys, before continuing this epic story, I left your like to help the channel, and of course, if you can, I also left a super thank you and help the channel financially, and also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news. Now let's go back to the video. Whis just watched Vegeta's training. He was getting happy with his progress. If he continued at this rate, even Goku could be surpassed. Vegeta says, "Whis, what's happening in the other world? It's not at all common for this to happen suddenly." Vegeta spoke, even more confused and curious about the answer the angel would give. Whis sighs, and quickly his look becomes more serious and begins to explain that the other world ended up suffering a disturbance in the cycle of souls, and not even King Yama knows how it happened. From the looks of it, souls are being absorbed and are being taken out of the other world, as if someone was devouring souls. Vegeta looked surprised but still stared at Whis with his serious gaze. Now he understood the gravity of the situation. He had never heard of someone who could absorb souls from another plane before. Certainly someone like that must be very powerful. Vegeta said, "Okay, I understand the situation. But why didn't they call me? After all, we both have Divine Ki. The situation would be easily resolved if I were to," sighed Vegeta, who was a little irritated that they hadn't called him in a situation as serious as this. Whis began to smile in response to Vegeta's speech and began to clap both his hands with joy and said, "Now, Mr. Vegeta, I ended up forgetting to tell you this information for a brief moment, but Lord Beerus asked me to take over his role as God of Destruction until he returns from his meeting with Zeno-sama. That's one of the reasons you can't help Goku right now." Vegeta asked, "What do you mean, Whis?" Because now, I am not fit for this position. You must already know that I have neither the power nor the technique to take on this role. And by the way, what meeting would that be? I know Zeno-sama is involved in it, but is it so important that Beerus would let me take over his position on a temporary basis?" said Vegeta, who was very nervous. Whis walks towards Vegeta and puts his hand on his shoulder, smiling. He says, "Calm down, Mr. Vegeta. This is really surprising coming from Beerus. Even I was surprised when he considered you taking over his temporary position, but you are the most qualified to take over this position. You are already heading towards the path of the Hakaishins, and by the way, you are getting stronger and stronger over time, and also, Mr. Beerus didn't choose you just because of the path you followed, but because of your character and your personality," Whis said, trying to calm Vegeta and alleviate the situation. Whis said, "And out of respect for Sir Beerus's meeting, the meeting not only involves Sir Beerus and Zeno-sama, but it involves all the gods of destruction. The meeting is held in Zeno-sama's palace, and it is a test of values. Every million years, Zeno-sama carries out a test with all the gods of destruction, with the aim of testing their values as gods and whether they are still worthy of remaining in office. And because of that, if it's a test of values, the objective is for all gods to test their values as mortals, basically. That's why Beerus is giving your position temporarily to you," spoke Whis, explaining the concepts of the meeting in a calm and objective way to Vegeta. Vegeta said, "I understand now. Very well then, I will accept the position. Being a god of destruction cannot be easy, but I will do my best to do Mr. Beerus's work efficiently. I'm counting on you to help me with this, Whis," said Vegeta excitedly. He was definitely ready to take on the great responsibility that would come next. Whis watched Vegeta with a satisfied smile, and then it was done. Vegeta was now named as a replacement god of destruction. At that same moment, Whis, who grabs his staff and raises it upwards, begins to project the image of a distinct planet in space, and at the same time begins to make an explanation. "Very well, Mr. Vegeta. This will be your job as a temporary god of destruction. You will have to destroy this planet completely. However, This planet is different from the others. It does not have mass or anything tangible. Its nature is purely spiritual, which is perfect for you to test the power of your Hakai. If you manage to disintegrate this planet, it means that your training has borne many fruits, spoke Whis. Offering Vegeta's first job, he was eager to see the result of how Vegeta would do. Vegeta says, "Whis, let me ask you, does this planet deserve to be destroyed? I honestly wouldn't want to exterminate planets without the greatest need. I don't think that's right. I would be killing the lives of millions of innocent people. It's hypocritical of me because I've done this before, but I changed my way of thinking." Vegeta said he was thinking he could complete this job easily, but from the looks of it, it would be more difficult than he thought. His head was full of information, but even so, he wanted to hear what the angel had to say. Whis said, "It's an interesting question, Mr. Vegeta. Do they really deserve to be destroyed? Firstly, Mr. Vegeta, do you know what the main function of a god of destruction is?" commented Whis, who was speaking with sarcasm, but still, he wanted to hear what the prince thought. Vegeta says, "Well, from what I know, Kaioshin create things. They are the side of creation present in the universe. Now the gods of destruction are the destructive side, basically. Would it be a balance?" Whis smiled again, laughing loudly, and as he laughed, he began to say, "Exactly. Everything is about balance. The Kaioshins create and the gods of destruction destroy. Everything in the universe is about having a continuous balance. To prove this, the gods of destruction cannot live without a Kaioshin, because if a Kaioshin ends up dying, the god of destruction ends up dying too, as both are linked by the jobs they have. Do you understand now, Mr. Vegeta?" Vegeta begins to reflect, being still. He still had conflicts in his mind. And to begin, he comments to the angel, "Okay, now I understand completely in a way. Now I am connected with the Kaioshin of Universe 7. Well, thanks for the explanation. I will go to the planet you mentioned. Thank you," said Vegeta, who at that same moment asked Whis to take him to the planet, and so the angel does. He holds Vegeta's shoulder and teleports him to Beerus's flying cube, and then the two leave the planet of Beerus towards space. After a few seconds in space, Vegeta and Whis finally arrive on the planet. Vegeta was surprised when he looked at the planet up close, as this planet had a devastating energy, but incredible as it seemed, it did not give off divine ki or even normal ki. It was something like a distinct energy. Vegeta, perplexed by the planet, looks at Whis and says, "Whis, are you sure there are living beings on this planet? It's something very strange. It seems that the planet itself has life, as I can feel a great distinct energy coming from it." "This is weird," said a confused Vegeta, trying to understand the nature of the planet. Whis said, "As incredible as it may seem, I can't feel it either. In fact, I'm in the same situation as you. The only thing I can perceive is the distinct energy that comes off this planet. You can't tell it apart, even though you've already seen it, right? The energy that this planet emanates is pure magic, which is strange. I thought magic had become more absent in this universe," spoke Whis, who had a bad feeling about this planet. Vegeta says, "A planet with magic?" Vegeta shouted in fright. "Somewhere in Universe 7 on a planet made of pure magic." We said, "Mr. Vegeta, before we moved on to the planet, I ended up forgetting to give you a gift that Mr. Beerus asked me to give you. This is the suit that all the gods of destruction wear. I believe you are fit for this job, and that's why I'm handing it over to you. This suit is quite heavy. They weigh around quintillions, and little by little you adapt, and at the same time you acquire great resistance, and consequently this also increases all your attributes," said Whis, explaining to Vegeta the nature of the clothing of a god of destruction. Vegeta said, "I see, so this outfit could help Beerus a lot, right? It being heavy is not a problem. I will adapt quickly to it. It will be easy." Speaking of resistance, I think this outfit is probably one of the reasons why Lord Beerus resisted my attacks in Super Saiyan 2. If that's the case, then this outfit is perfect for battles. In addition to increasing resistance to absurd levels, I think combining this with my Ultra Ego form will greatly increase my powers, said Vegeta, excited about his God of Destruction outfit. After talking about the God of Destruction outfit, Whis makes a gesture with his staff and causes Vegeta's standard outfit to be exchanged for the God of Destruction outfit. After having the suit on, Vegeta instantly transforms into his Ultra Ego form. Now he felt a little more comfortable with his suit because the clothes were too heavy to wear in his base form. Vegeta said, "Whis, this outfit is really heavy. It's like it's crushing all my bones, but it's something I can handle if I adapt little by little and start using it in battles. I'll be able to get used to it easily. This outfit will bring me a lot of benefits." Vegeta said, "Okay, Whis, we better stop talking so much. We have to check out the planet first. In a way, I was thinking about destroying it after we arrived, but something tells me that this planet has more to show." "But Whis says this planet is spiritual in nature. How can we enter?" Vegeta asked, hoping that the angel would have an answer. Whis makes a gesture with his staff. At that moment, Vegeta raises his hand and touches Whis' staff. When he does this, Vegeta doesn't feel anything different. But when looking at the reflection of Whis' staff, he looks at his head and notices a halo on top of his head. Whis said, "Okay, the problem is solved now. I hope you don't get mad about it, Mr. Vegeta. If you want to enter this planet, you will obviously have to share its same nature. The only alternative was for you to die. And then I decided to take his life, but for some specific reason, I don't know why, but his soul didn't go to the other world." Whis said with his hands on his chin, trying to think of a logical answer. Vegeta said, "I wouldn't get mad at something that benefits me, but it's really strange that I'm not taken to the other world. Anyway, let's go to the planet." Vegeta said, eager to find strong opponents. With the end of the brief conversation, Whis and Vegeta land little by little on the planet. Little by little, it was possible to see certain beings waiting for them, as if they already knew that people were going to invade that planet. Vegeta said, "Well, we arrived on the planet. The only thing possible to see here are 4 different people." Vegeta said, looking around the place. Whis said, "From the looks of it, they were already expecting our arrival. These beings are strange. I can't feel their presence." Vegeta said, "Hey you guys, who are you? Are you inhabitants of this planet? Respond at once," said Vegeta, who was waiting for an answer. The 4 spirits then begin to quickly approach Whis and Vegeta. The first spirit, with a short stature that had a brown color and that had a complete mask on his face, was called Claudius. The second spirit, who was tall and had a lot of muscles, was called Daikathan. He had a mask curved over his face. The third spirit had large wings on its back. Each wing had 3 red eyes and was tall, in addition to having an incomplete mask on its face. Its name was Agrona. The fourth spirit had a tall stature with 4 arms. Its name was Equasis. Vegeta said, "Whis, are these guys spirits then?" "That's okay, they're not a problem. I'll finish them off quickly. After doing this, I will destroy this planet," said Vegeta, putting himself in his combat pose. The spirits begin to attack Vegeta. Combining their attacks, they quickly begin to corner Vegeta, who was unable to move and was receiving several punches. Vegeta regains his Compulsor and grabs Equasis's left arm and Daikathan's right leg and throws them away. After that, Vegeta goes up to the 4 spirits, and then he prepares 2 energy attacks in his hands and releases an immense blast of energy at everyone, covering the entire place where they were. Vegeta said, "Is that all you have to show?" said Vegeta, convinced of his victory. Suddenly, when the prince's back was turned, the spirits re-emerged from the brief smokescreen that was dispelled. He looks back and sees that they were alive, and they were completely unharmed. So Vegeta decides to use his energy of destruction and uses Hakai to end it once and for all. Vegeta said, "What? Isn't the energy of destruction effective on these spirits? But Hakai is supposed to erase everything from existence, right? I don't understand anything anymore." "What the hell?" was said. "From what it looks like, these spirits are not common. They seem to be immune to both Divine Ki and Normal Ki. But what is surprising is that they are immune to the technique of the gods of destruction. If they are immune to this, perhaps they are beings that are no longer normal spirits," Whis said, explaining the situation. Vegeta said, "I understand. Divine Ki and Normal Ki don't work. I didn't want to admit it, but these bastards are going to be a lot of work." "Very well then, if both types of Ki don't work, then I will use brute force," said Vegeta, who was convinced he could win. Vegeta goes towards the spirits again. More specifically, he goes towards Agrona and starts throwing consecutive punches to his face. However, Agrona counters the blows with a big headbutt that breaks Vegeta's defense. But Vegeta doesn't give up and gives a kick to the spirit, but he doesn't feel anything. And then, Agrona takes Vegeta's head and sinks it into the ground, causing a large crater in the ground. Vegeta was very injured. His body was also suffering from the weight of the God of Destruction's clothing, and this was increasingly weakening the Saiyan Prince. And to make matters worse, Agrona throws a powerful punch to Vegeta's neck, which ends up neutralizing the Saiyan Prince. But at that same moment, before Vegeta is completely defeated by Agrona, Whis saves Vegeta and produces a barrier around them. Vegeta said, "Whis, remove this barrier. I can fight them again. I won't give in that easily. I don't need your help," said Vegeta, being highly angry with Whis. Whis said, "No, Mr. Vegeta, you are in no condition to fight them. Look at yourself first. You can barely stand up. I can't let you die like this. Don't forget you are already dead. Your spirit could disappear if that happens," Whis said, trying to make Vegeta give up. Vegeta said, "I already said no, Whis. This outfit was giving me problems in battle, but I'm now able to control it better. I can fight again." Whis said, "I won't repeat it. You're not ready. You will die if you continue. What would become of your wife and your family if you died like this? But if you are so determined, maybe there is something that can help you in this situation," Whis said, giving Vegeta one more chance. Vegeta said, "And what would that something be? Tell me." "Wait," said Vegeta, who was nervous. Whis said, "As you already know, these beings are not affected by normal ki nor by divine ki. As you yourself tested, not even the Hakai, which is Mr. Beerus' technique, is capable of destroying them. Having said that, from what I've heard in summary about this planet, there resides a powerful sword that can kill them. This sword is inserted within the planet itself. That is, it is in the middle of more than 500 surrounded souls. And in the middle of these souls, there is a floating rock, and it is in it that the sword is inserted. Many call it the Sacred Sword Excalibur," spoke Whis, who was starting to give hope that Vegeta could win the battle. "On a planet in Universe 7 made of magic," Vegeta said. "Okay, Whis, if this sword really exists and is on this planet, I will look for it, but I will do it my way. Now I want you to heal me, please," said Vegeta, determined to find the sword. Whis spoke. "You're going to insist on facing these spirits again, aren't you? Anyway, I can't change the way you act. Okay then, I'll heal you, but make it worth it." Whis said that he was trusting that Vegeta would be able to find the sword. After Whis heals Vegeta, the angel Whis disperses the barrier, and Vegeta goes towards the 4 spirits that were waiting for him. Vegeta said, "You worms, I'm going to finish you all off. This time it won't be like the last time. I won't lose again, you hear?" Vegeta said, showing a smile and with his thumb pointed at his chest. Vegeta then goes towards the 4 spirits and releases a blast of ki on the planet's ground, which ends up causing a large smoke screen. Vegeta takes advantage of his strategy and starts throwing several punches and kicks against the spirits. At the same time, he was using his immense speed to try to cause damage to all of them. But this doesn't work. The Aquasis spirit sees Vegeta in the smoke and punches Vegeta in the jaw, followed by a knee and a headbutt. The prince was stunned, but even so, Vegeta teleported behind the spirits and launched a Taiokin to try to weaken their vision, which caused the spirits to be stunned for a while. Now Vegeta makes a large blast of Kai, then Vegeta begins to prepare his final flash combined with his Hakai and quickly fires at the spirits, causing a large explosion. Vegeta said, "Now, that must have definitely worked, ha 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 ha. I'm sure I did some damage to those bastards. What did you think of that, you worms?" the prince said, laughing loudly. However, the spirits were completely unharmed. They had not suffered any scratches. This demonstrated that no matter what strategy Vegeta used, they would always leave without a scratch. Vegeta said, "What the hell? These bastards don't die with anything. I don't believe I'll have to rely on a sword to defeat them, but I have no way out, and this seems to be the only way," Vegeta said, frustrated with the situation. The spirits who were looking at Vegeta quickly ran at high speed to attack him, but the prince managed to dodge, and when he jumped, one of the spirits grabbed Vegeta's leg and threw him with all his strength to the ground. Vegeta thought, "What a humiliation. Not even with strategies I could stop them, really. I'm going to need that damn sword. I'm going to have to look for it, but I won't be able to find it with these bastards on my back," said Vegeta, who was extremely irritated at not being able to do anything. Vegeta was already exhausted, so much so that he could barely stand. It seemed like the same situation would repeat itself again, but suddenly a little dog appeared in front of Vegeta, facing the spirits, and the dog started barking with a threatening sound. His skin was black with white tones on his face and neck, and he had purple eyes. But, without a doubt, the most notable thing was the necklace that the little dog was carrying. It was a peculiar necklace, as its symbol was the same as the symbols on the clothes of a god of destruction. The little dog quickly looks at Vegeta and puts him on his back, and just like that, he starts running at high speed to the other side of the planet, and after a few seconds, Vegeta ends up regaining consciousness after the dog licks him. Vegeta said, "But what happened? Where did this dog come from? How am I still alive? Tell me, dog, it was you who saved me, wasn't it?" Vegeta said, looking fixedly at the dog. The dog says, "Exactly, I saved you. Feel more grateful, please. You really are a fool. Did you really think you could defeat them even after you were humiliated by them? You are an idiot. Until now, there is only one way to kill these spirits, and that is with the Excalibur sword." Vegeta said, "Shut up! Why is a dog calling me idiot? Who are you? Why did you save me?" said Vegeta, being full of doubts about the dog he knew how to talk that was in front of him. The dog says, "My name is Akita. I saved you because I heard the conversation you had with the angel. You are looking for the Excalibur sword to end the spirits, right? I know where she is. Just follow me and you will have her." Akita starts walking forward with Vegeta following him, and after walking for 3 minutes, Akita stops walking and makes a gesture with his paw on the ground. He starts to make small scribbles of symbols similar to the symbol of the gods of destruction. And then, a large radiant door appears. Akita said, "The sword is here, follow me. This door will take us to a small cave that is separated from the outside world. It is a dimension created by the beings of this planet." Vegeta said, "All right then, let's go," said Vegeta, eager to find the Excalibur sword. It is then that the two enter the door and come across a small cave covered in symbols. Akita begins to walk towards a large staircase, with Vegeta following him. Akita said, "We're almost at the end of the stairs. Do you see that big rock? That's where Excalibur is. We're almost there," commented the little Akita dog, looking towards the rock. Vegeta said, "I understand. I have an immense desire to wield this sword. I will put an end to those damn spirits," Vegeta said determinedly. And finally, they both reach the end and find a small rock, and in it was Excalibur, the sacred sword. The sword was bathed in immense brilliance. Vegeta said, "So is this the sword? I'm not much of a fan of using any type of weapon, but I really love this sword. The glow it emanates suits me perfectly." Akita said, "Enough with the jokes. Now that we're here, all you have to do is remove this sword from the rock. But I'll warn you right away that it won't be easy to remove it. Even I tried my luck, and I still wasn't able to wield it." At that same moment, something crosses the passage that Akita and Vegeta passed. And that someone was Whis, who was walking towards the puppy, Akita and Vegeta. Whis said, "Now this is really a surprise. I don't believe it, Akita. Is it really you? This is quite a surprise. Mr. Beerus will certainly be very happy to see you again." He spoke Whis in a cheerful tone. Akita spoke, "Hello, Whis. Yes, it's been quite a few years since I've seen Lord Beerus. I hope he's doing well," Akita said with a nostalgic look. Vegeta said, Whis, I'm sorry to interrupt the meeting, but now I'm going to remove the sword from this rock." Vegeta then lowered both of his hands and then approached the rock, and without further ado, he grabbed it with both of his hands and began to pull. But Vegeta wasn't able to pull it out, which made him angry, but then he took a breath and calmed down and activated the power of Ultra Ego and pulled the sword back slowly, little by little. And so Vegeta manages to remove the sword, pointing it upwards. Vegeta said, "In the end, the sword responded to the state the person was in. Now I understand how it works," said Vegeta, who was extremely happy. Akita said, "Excellent. Now that the most difficult stage has been completed, we can leave this place and face those spirits," Akita commented. Whis said, "This sword gives off unparalleled energy. Mr. Vegeta, this sword seems to be connecting spiritually with you. Its energy is increasing. But anyway, Mr. Vegeta, I will give you some information. If you end up combining your destruction energy with this sword, you can definitely exterminate these spirits. From the looks of it, this sword has its effect improved when the host's energy joins the sword's energy." Whis spoke, explaining how the Excalibur sword works. While they were talking, the passage that was open was crossed by 4 beings. The spirits had arrived and began to walk towards Akita, Vegeta, and Whis. Vegeta said, "Damn, they've arrived, but it's okay, I have my sword in hand. I'll finish them off." The spirits begin to look at the sword that Vegeta had in his hands. They were perplexed and scared, since no person had managed to remove the sword from that rock. Not even they had ever managed to remove that Excalibur from the rock. Vegeta then goes towards the spirits and wields the sword in his hands, and in doing so he puts the sword through the first spirit, and then the body of that spirit begins to completely disintegrate before the sword. Vegeta is surprised and moves away, but immediately the other 3 spirits go at Vegeta and attack him quickly. As there were several and the sword was heavy, this hindered Vegeta in trying to hit them. And so, Vegeta ends up suffering serious injuries to his body, being quite injured. Seeing that Vegeta was weakened, Akita quickly appears among the spirits and begins to increase his size. He gives a loud bark that causes a gigantic wind, and this drives the spirits away from the place. Seeing that the situation was bad, Whis hit his staff and teleported everyone to planet Earth. On planet Earth, after Vegeta's unexpected escape, he was recovering from the injuries he had received in his fight against the spirits. Even with the increase in his powers, he was unable to do many things against them, and this frustrated him a lot. Now that Vegeta was fully recovered after Whis and Akita's care, he was determined to invade the planet of the spirits that had humiliated him previously in order to defeat them. Vegeta said, "Damn, I can't believe I went through all this humiliation. Not even with the powers of the Excalibur sword I could do anything. It's absurd to admit that I, the Prince of the Saiyans, am having difficulties against these stupid spirits. Damn it, Whis, take me back to that planet. I'm already recovered and I feel like I can fight again," said Vegeta, determined to face them once again. Guys, before continuing this epic story, I left your like to help the channel, and of course, if you can, I also left a super thank you and help the channel financially, and also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news. Now let's go back to the video. We said, "There is no way you are on equal footing with those 3 spirits. You cannot with them, and you know that very well. I'm not going to do that stupid thing," Whis said seriously as he looked at Vegeta. Akita said, "Vegeta, the angel Whis is right. Not even I can face those monsters. They have different abilities that can kill us. I'm sorry to admit it, but at this moment we can't do absolutely anything," said the little Akita dog, showing a little sadness and indignation. After both discussed what they would do, suddenly an energy and tremor were felt throughout planet Earth. It was possible to see houses being destroyed and buildings being completely obliterated. At that same moment, an immense white light hit the ground where Vegeta, Whis, and Akita were close. They were the 3 remaining spirits, and now they ended up invading planet Earth. They seemed a little breathless, as they appeared to have made a certain degree of effort to come to planet Earth. But at that same moment, Vegeta and Whis felt a familiar ki, and when they looked at the sky, Goku was landing in the place where his friends were. Goku had finally resolved the situation with King Yema. Vegeta said, "Kakaroto, so you managed to resolve things with King Yema, right? I never had any doubts that I could do it. Now that you're here, I want you to help me defeat these damn spirits. Just a tip, neither normal nor divine ki attacks work, so I recommend you just use your basic skills," said Vegeta, being a little relieved by Goku's arrival. Goku said, "Wow, Vegeta, you really look different, huh? Who would have thought that you would take over Mr. Beerus' position? And I see that you have increased your power to very high levels. Vegeta, is that really you? You are absurdly strong. Well, I understand the situation. We have to finish off these monsters as quickly as possible. Let's go," said Goku, positioning himself in his combat pose. Vegeta said, "Enough wasting time with conversations. We have to eliminate them as soon as possible. We can't waste time, you idiot," said Vegeta, who had gotten angry with Goku. The Decathlon spirit replied, "How humiliating. We had to leave our precious planet to come after a filthy monkey, and yet it took a lot of effort, and because of that, I will certainly eliminate this damn thing from existence right now." The Agrona spirit replied, "Now that we have arrived on this low-level planet, tell me, Vegeta, are you ready to die on the planet you cherish so much? I hope you are prepared, because we won't stall the fight this time. You will definitely die," said the spirit Agrona, showing a macabre and evil smile as his aura increased. Vegeta said, "I can't believe it. These bastards really came looking for me. Damn, the situation has gotten completely out of control. I won't be able to face all 3 of them at once, mainly due to the fact that this sword is very heavy and I won't be able to handle it properly. This can only be a nightmare," said Vegeta desperately. Akita said, "Vegeta, get away from here. I'll take care of them while you think of something to finish them off. Whis, you can help me, right? I know angels can't directly interfere in mortal affairs, but I think you can definitely at least distract them without causing too much of a fuss," said the little dog Akita, determined to help Vegeta. Whis said, "It won't be any problem. Therefore, So that I don't interfere to a certain degree, I will teleport you to Bulma's house, which is about 45 kilometers away, while Akita and I will delay these monsters. You will have the time you need to strengthen yourself. Remember when I said the sword was spiritually merging with you? This is certainly a great advantage, as you will be able to deploy your own energy in conjunction with the power of the sword. This is the only chance you have of finishing them off. Did you pay attention? Spoke Whis, who then hit the staff on the ground and teleported Vegeta in the Capsule Corporation. Vegeta said, "Come to think of it, since the sword is spiritually connected to me, now I must try to inject my own power with it, but this will certainly be a difficult task, as the aura of this sword greatly hinders the concentration of my Kai." Damn it, Vegeta thought. Calm down, you are a prince of a more powerful warrior race. You have been through situations of extreme caution and concentration. I am intelligent and I know how to act. I cannot despair in any way, Vegeta thought, regaining his confidence. After Vegeta thought a lot, Vegeta grabbed the sword and sat down on the ground. He was starting to focus on putting all his energy into the sword so that he could wield it with a certain degree of ease and handling. It was possible to see the calm and tranquility that Vegeta was having at that moment to complete the fusion of his powers with the sword. Meanwhile, in the battle against the Spirits, Goku had gone after the three spirits to test his strength. However, he ended up being met by a kick from the spirit Agrona in the middle of his stomach, accompanied by a quick punch to the chin. Goku, who had already realized the level of power of his opponents, uses his Super Saiyan 3 form to try to fight the spirits, but the second spirit decides to attack the Saiyan with his technique of causing disturbances in his own ki, and with this Goku ends up being unable to use his transformations. Goku said, "Damn, I don't know what I can do to fight them. My technique certainly won't work, much less brute force. This really is a complicated situation. Whis, do you have any ideas?" said Goku, curious about the angel. Whis said, "Well, the Akita can help you. I don't know if Lord Beerus told you this, but this dog was his pet. Akita is also great at hand-to-hand combat. You two can take care of these two spirits, while I will distract the third spirit. Understand?" Akita said, "Hello, Son Goku. It's a pleasure to meet you. Now that we are in an unusual situation, let's fight together and find a way to delay these monsters until Vegeta arrives," said the Akita puppy with determination in his eyes. Goku and Akita soon positioned themselves and left towards Agrona and Decathen. Goku went towards Agrona and Akita towards Decathen. However, they surprised the two spirits by alternating between the two. At a certain moment, Akita was fighting against Agrona and Goku against Decathen and so on. But this strategy didn't last long, as Agrona punches the planet's ground and causes a large tremor, disrupting Akita and Goku's synchronization. Akita and Goku soon move away from the spirits, and before they even realize, they are both hit hard and now receiving several blows. Little time had passed in this battle and both were already completely exhausted. Probably at a certain point they would no longer be able to continue, and everything would just depend on how long Vegeta would take to arrive. Now at the Capsule Corporation, Vegeta smiling says, "I finally managed to merge with the sword. All I needed was to just organize my Ki into parts so I could channel the power into the sword. Now I can feel it. It is overflowing with my power, and now I can wield it more easily. This is great. Now I can go to those damn unclean spirits and show them their place," said Vegeta, excited, so he quickly uses his teleportation to go to where Goku, Akita, and Whis were. Vegeta had instantly arrived, and when he arrived, he found Goku and Akita injured, but they were being protected by a barrier that Whis had made. Whis was being attacked by the three spirits at the same time, just dodging their attacks without even counter-attacking. Vegeta, without wasting time, soon increases the power of his sword, and thus he finally reaches a new level of power, the Ultra Ego Level 2, by combining his power with the sword. This is Vegeta's newest transformation, and it was possible to see his long hair and eyes of pure determination, exuding the wild nature of Saiyans. Vegeta said, "I hope you pray because there will be no salvation for you crawling worms. Now take this," said Vegeta, swinging his sword and advancing towards the spirits, and after touching the spirits with his sword, he instantly killed them, disintegrating them until there was nothing left. Vegeta said, "Ha ha 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 ha! Apparently they couldn't do anything, damned worms," Whis said. "Excellent! Mr. Vegeta, I'm glad you understood the method of becoming more powerful. Now that the situation is resolved, I think I owe you a prize for your task as a god of destruction in Mr. Beerus' place. Having said that, I'm going to revive you again, but I want you to appreciate your life, you know?" Whis said with a huge smile on his face. Vegeta, who was previously dead, had revived, and everything had returned to normal. And after Goku and Akita recovered, the puppy Akita decided to return to his planet as he wanted to organize some things there. And meanwhile, Beerus finally returns from his meeting, and soon after that he receives his position as God of Destruction again. From the looks of it, Beerus will be the God of Destruction for a few more good long years. So guys, the video ends here, but remember, don't forget to like the video to motivate me to bring epic videos like this one. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news. So bye!